Hey everybody, September 20th, nice sunny, mild day here today. Just to give you an update on the garden and some things that I had learned here towards the end of the season and some new stuff that we're doing. So let's talk about the tomatoes. Again, these are the ones that I didn't plant. These are Better Boys that grew from bed last year. They're starting to get leaf spot. Excuse me. That spread from all the way down there, and now it's finally reaching them. These are the ones that have these are the youngest of the plants. So I'm gonna have to trim some of this up. As you can see, the tomatoes are still looking really good, and there's still a lot of green ones on here. And I want to let them go till they get ripe. And here's my little cutting that I did. It's actually getting blossoms. So you can see these things are just leaning all over the place, different directions. That's just as the plant's getting older and heavier and a little bit weaker. You know, I'm just not even going to try and keep it straight up anymore. As long as it's not touching the ground, you know, and the tomatoes are still getting ripe. That's all I'm concerned about. These are the ones that were a little bit older. They practically have no leaves left on them at all, but they're still alive and they're still ripening on the vine. Still got quite a few tomatoes here. And that's something that I'm learning is, you know, late in the season, your tomatoes don't have to look good. The plants themselves don't have to look good for you to get them last of the season's tomatoes ripe on the vine. And as you can see, they're living off of just the top leaves. That's all they need, and that's all they need. I'm gonna just keep it going. The peppers, they're not doing all that great. This one here especially, I think they might have some deficiency because they're getting really a lighter shade of green. And the peppers themselves are stunted. They're coming in a lot smaller. You can see this one's already changing. Oh shit, there's a spot on there. These are already changing color, and they're not even. Look at that. It's pretty though. So I'll pick these little mini peppers until they die, but we're not expecting to get any more big peppers out of them. I'm getting ready to pick some beans here in a few minutes. That's why I wanted to do this video before I got in here and started digging in. The beans are still real healthy. Top leaves are really nice. Of course, the bottom ones are dying out. They're still, here in end of September, we're still getting blossoms on the beans, the Kentucky Wonders. Oh, jeez, yeah. These need to be picked. These big ones are going to be pretty tough. Yeah, there's a lot up on the top hedges there. So let's talk about the Napa cabbage. This bed is doing extremely well. Come out this morning and I seen some damage. I'm not sure what it's from yet. Probably some type of cabbage worm. Really bad here in Missouri. Cabbages are tough. There's no way you can get around not spraying. I don't know, maybe a net, greenhouse, you know, things like that. But man, the heads are getting real dense in there. We got these tied up. I gotta tie this one up. This is what they look like whenever you don't tie them up. And it just takes longer for them to develop the heads. The Korean radish is doing really well. Planted them a little bit too close, but you know, I'm not expecting too much out of them. This is just a trial. I gotta damn transplant this sucker out of here as soon as I find more room in one of these beds. This is the overflow cabbage. They were runts to begin with, but now finally catching up, getting some good leaf development. I gotta tie this one up. Now this one's been in the shade of these damn beans, but still doing. This one I really sprayed that one this morning. This one got chewed the hell up real bad. Let's see, cauliflower. This monster, this thing is huge. Not a head yet, but I am starting to see more dense growth down in there. Let's find the center. Okay, there we go. As you can look down in there, it's starting to get thicker. Here's the okra that nobody's picking, so it's just turning into flowers. And here's the old bad patch. We've talked about that before. The old tomatoes here doing real bad. Still got a couple of cantaloupes. I don't know. We'll see. They're small. This last tomato plant here is hanging on barely. But some of the new shoots here haven't been affected too much by the leaf spot. The older stuff has, but once these, oh hell, look at that sucker there. Something got into this tomato already. Well, I'll slice that up for the chickens. This cute little tomato plant right here is one of my little favorites. Grew out of the damn compost pile. I don't know. I guess maybe it's going to be a cherry tomato. But, I mean, that really looks like, you know, small tomatoes in bunches like that. So I'm going to let it go and see. I might get a few tomatoes before it dies. And this okra here, just a monster. And there's the chickens out there. They're molting. So they look like about half their size, and there's feathers all over the place. They're not laying eggs. So they're pretty useless to me right now, except for bug control. Alright guys, well, that's just a little late September update on the garden. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye.